Good evening. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting. This video is by our investment banking desk. Investment banking used to be, I repeat, used to be one of the most profitable revenue stream for banks. I remember when I was doing my MBA, UBS, Deutsche, Barclays, Credit Suisse, they used to be number one as far as the investment banking is concerned. Rather precisely speaking, people were doing CFA, Certified Financial Analyst. Chartered Financial Analyst is a wrong definition. People were doing CFA only to join these big banks. But now you can see that where are these big banks? Where did they reach as we speak? Everything is on Google. When you do a merger, by the way, merger is of 4 types. And I doubt whether any book explained all 4. Number 1 is the horizontal merger. Number 2 is the vertical merger. Number 3 is the blended merger. Number 4 is the reverse merger. All 4 mergers, which I told you, have subcategories also. So number 1 is the horizontal merger. Number 2 is the vertical merger. Number 3 is the blended merger. And number 4 is the reverse merger. All 4 have their subcategories, which I can't discuss, When you do these kind of mergers, and especially when you do the second and third category, which is the vertical merger and blended merger. Just a small introduction that blended merger is a merger which having some properties of horizontal merger and some properties of vertical merger. Practically speaking, vertical mergers are highly complicated, let it be honest. And the level of complication in the horizontal merger is really tough, let it be honest. And in the last few years, we have seen the complexity has risen. So that's very interesting piece. Practically speaking, there are 4 kinds of due diligence you are supposed to perform. Number 1 is the financial due diligence. Number 2 is the legal due diligence. Number 3 is the technical due diligence. And number 4 is the intellectual capital due diligence. So let me repeat. Number 1 is the financial due diligence. Number 2 is the legal due diligence. Number 3 is the technical due diligence. And number 4 is the intellectual capital due diligence. So let me elaborate all 4 one by one. Financial due diligence is further categorized into 2 parts. Number 1, market due diligence, which is known as synergy. So let me quote a simple example. When Microsoft bought LinkedIn, Microsoft is a software company, product company, license company, cloud company. They bought a social platform. They have thought about the market due diligence, which is synergy. Till what extent they achieved synergy, that Microsoft is aware about. Second category of financial due diligence is the accounting due diligence. The way Microsoft is closing the books, of course, as per US GAAP or probably IFRS, Apple might not be doing the same way. Probably HP might not doing the same way. So tomorrow, example, Microsoft buy HP, example. In that reality, you need to discuss the accounting due diligence, that how HP is doing the accounting due diligence, which is 10K, and how Microsoft would be integrating this. Guys, this is very important. And this is more important, rather at most important in the case of banks. Example, Wells Fargo is saying we wanted to sell our mortgage division, example. And JP Morgan Chase is saying we are interested. But JP Morgan having a different accounting setup as compared to Wells Fargo. And this accounting setup not only impacts the middle line, which is called operating profit, it do impacts the bottom line, which is called PAT. And it also impacts the EPS, basic EPS, diluted EPS, and adjusted EPS. Before JP Morgan agreed to buy Wells Fargo, say 100 million, example, in this eventuality, they first have to do the accounting due diligence. That is very important. Legal due diligence means all big companies of the globe, without mentioning any specific name, they have lot of legal cases running on them. History is witness that top software company, technological companies having lots of cases against them. So if you buying such company, you have to be aware that now you have to deal with these cases. You can't run away from these cases, which is nothing but a contingent liability. It may possible you win the case, it may possible you lose the case, but eventually this is a contingent liability. Let it be honest. Third is the technical due diligence. Technical due diligence means the patents, the brands, the IPs, intellectual property, and all these things. This is called technical due diligence. So example, today I am buying a pharmaceutical company, and this pharmaceutical company having 3 top pills. One pertains to headache, one pertains to stomach, and one pertains to brain, assuming. So practically I'm not buying a pharmaceutical company. This is a myth. I am buying 3 pills. But what would if I know there is another pharmaceutical company, XYZ, who is currently coming up 2 pills, brain pill and headache pill. And the reputation of this company is very strong as compared to the company we are about to buy. In this eventuality, the IP, the intellectual property of the pills which I'm buying, is going to be very, very important. Because today I'm buying this company, I get a control about 3 pills, it would come under my radar, I will sell, okay, agree. What would if the new company XYZ, who is currently into R&D phase, they would be able to came up with a better product and I am literally gone. That's really very, very, very important I would like to convey. Fourth is the intellectual capability. I completely disregard that only IT and software companies have intellectual category. Manufacturing companies have only the machines and all these things. Come on, guys. Manufacturing companies also have intellectual category. Their engineers, their scientists, their R&D department and all. Today in 2022, you cannot claim that you do not have intellectual property. Be it your employees, be it the scientists, be it the engineers, be it the R&D department. In short, financial due diligence, legal due diligence, technical due diligence, and intellectual due diligence, I believe that the first 2 is relatively very, very important.